fabulous Frasier, Mad About You, and the nifty News Radio. In any language, it adds up to 6 big shows, 1,000 laughs on one hilarious Monday night. NBC's Monday night of 1,000 laughs.
In 2 weeks, strap yourself in, brace for impact, and prepare for action. JAG is on the move. Their mission, to uncover the truth. Their destination, Wednesday nights.
I mean, lawyer, they didn't tell you?
A new day, a new time, a new adventure.
Nothing I can't handle.
For JAG, coming to NBC in 2 weeks.
It circles the Pacific Ocean. And when the time is right, it may unleash earthquakes and volcanoes, such as the world has never seen. Sitting astride the Ring of Fire are Japan, Colombia, and the United States. But nowhere, it seems, is completely safe. And one man may hold the key as to when this ring may ignite. The Ring of Fire is a long, deep break in the Earth's crust. It forms an enormous loop that zigzags through the Pacific coasts of North and South America, Alaska, Russia, Japan, Asia, and most of the islands of the South Pacific. The name refers to the hundreds of volcanoes and earthquakes that are generated beneath the crust of the ring. Gordon Michael Scallion has a special interest in the Ring of Fire. Scallion is considered by many to be one of the world's leading futurists. Recently, Scallion claims he has experienced disturbing visions warning of future geological disturbances originating within the ring.
The kind of visions that I'm seeing can be described as no less than catastrophic. I witnessed the Japan Kobe quake about 6 months ahead of time. I knew approximately where it was, and I saw the destruction and the damage.
Both futurists and scientists believe tremendous heat is accumulating below the surface of the ring. UCLA geologist John Davidson.
The heat needs to leave the Earth, and as a result, the interior of the Earth is actually convecting. It's a bit like a pan of soup, having a sort of frothy crust on it that moves.
Subterranean heat produces geological stress. When this stress is suddenly released, the result can be powerful earthquakes. For years, geologists have struggled to develop a method of forecasting these events.
Earthquakes have just turned out to be, by and large, relatively unpredictable.
But what if you could predict the approach of natural disasters? Gordon Michael Scallion claims he can. Scallion's obsession with the mysterious Ring of Fire began in 1979. One morning, shortly after recovering from a traumatic health crisis, Scallion was startled to discover that he was suddenly able to see vibrant auras. This new power was just the beginning. Scallion started having visions of the future. Many of these visions involved earthquakes and volcanoes. And in the 15 years since these apparitions began, Scallion has been haunted by recurring images of earthquakes and volcanoes triggered within the ring.
The Ring of Fire is highly active now, and I predict that it will continue throughout the 90s. And we're going to see the birth of new volcanoes.
Scallion believes volcanic activity within the ring is caused by a massive underground river of fiery lava, or what geologists call magma.
What I see is that the magma has been displaced, disoriented. It actually is bulging, and the bulge is being caused by significant ice buildup at the poles, and the equilibrium of the Earth, or the spin of the Earth on its axis, is out of balance. And it's like a washing machine that gets out of balance and it starts shaking and shaking and shaking.
According to Scallion, the land above this bulging magma will fracture.
California, it's going to fracture at its weakest point, and then part of it will slide into the sea, and the other part of it will settle down.
Scallion predicts this fracturing will be the first step in a worldwide domino effect. As this chain reaction accelerates, intense tremors from the Ring of Fire could resonate across the United States, all the way to New England.
We're not prepared on the East Coast at all for what I see coming. Boston and Buffalo are two highly seismic areas that I foresee that are going to have ongoing activity.
But what degree of damage could an East Coast earthquake cause? John Ebel, professor of geophysics at Boston College, has spent countless hours searching for an answer to this difficult question.
A study in 1990 for the Massachusetts Civil Defense Agency suggested that if the magnitude 6.25 earthquake were to occur off of Cape Ann, Massachusetts today, it would probably cause between $2 and $10 billion worth of damage in the greater Boston area.
Scallion anticipates that geological disturbances originating in the Ring of Fire will affect the Earth's magnetic fields, which in turn will cause the climate to shift.
My visions have shown me that the Ice Age was caused by such a case, where the magnetic field shifted, and as a result of it, it funneled cold air from the north and the south in the poles, and funneled those into new areas. That same kind of a phenomenon is going to occur again this decade. So where it has been cold, it'll be warm.
Scallion's vision of a world turned upside down by nature is nothing new. Strikingly similar prophecies were written over 2,000 years ago.
There is in the Bible a phrase that says that there would be 3 days of darkness. And I have seen that vision of the 3 days of darkness. And I believe it's a result of volcanism in the world throwing up so much ash that it literally appears to be night, and it will stay that way for 3 days.
When the light of day finally returns, Scallion predicts the world will view the resurrection of a lost land.
We're going to see the reestablishment of an old continent, Atlantis. It will rise in its majority of its landmass from the area around Virginia to the Bahamas.
Scallion believes the ultimate consequence of geological transformation will not weaken civilization, but strengthen it.
We will emerge out of all of these changes as a much better civilization than we've ever had on this planet before. We all want peace. We all want unity. And we can rebuild and come back together as a community.
Scientists believe the Earth was born of fire. If Scallion's predictions come true, the world will experience a rebirth and renewal induced by the rivers of fire that seethe below the planet's surface. One fact is certain. The Earth will continue to move, and there will be more earthquakes. What is not known for sure is where they will strike, and with how much force.
Coming up next, 4 survivors who came back from the dead share visions of a dangerous future world.
Hey, Boopy.
I don't think so, Baldy.
Got milk?
What gives Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger that spicy hit everybody loves? The quarter pound of fresh beef, the bacon, the perfect sauce, or the slice of Pepper Jack cheese?
It's gotta be the cheese.
Wendy's new Pepper Jack Bacon Cheeseburger. It is the cheese.
There are places in every town where you can find a great meal. Tonight at Joe's Grill, for instance, you'll find lemon herb steak. While over at Caparelli's are serving savory steak and pasta. On the menu at Chez Ralph's is honey Dijon beef stir fry. And the chef's special at Arlene's Place is beefy chili mac. To enjoy fine dining like this, all you need is 30 minutes or less and you've got a table at one of the best steakhouses in town. Beef. It's what's for dinner.
What a summer. No fleas. They let me ride in the van, watch TV, even sleep with the kids.
Henry, time for your flea control.
Flea control? Now? I don't even have fleas.
Here, Henry.
Before fleas become a problem, use Program. 1 tablet once a month. It's that simple.
Let's see. Next summer, we'll go camping, maybe sailing.
See your veterinarian for program and other flea control options.
You've read about him. You've waited for him. Thursday, he's back.
Pure evil.
No soup for you. It's Seinfeld's classic Soup Nazi episode. Next. Plus all your favorite must-see shows.
Beautiful. You're pushing your luck, little man.
Must Soup TV, NBC Thursday.
Adios, muchacho.
There's a hard-working gasoline
Who's you about this?
with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, we are. Exxon gasoline keeps your engine cleaner,
Clean, it's good.
so it can help drive down maintenance costs.
Did gas do that?
Exxon gasoline can, with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Good idea.
And so is this. Cash and credit prices are the same.
Okay, I'll try it.
People stopping by to rely on the Tiger.
So I get this mail from Progressive saying they have a smart new way to shop for auto insurance.
Progressive, can I help you?
They give you their rates plus the rates of several other companies. I wonder whose rates are going to be lowest.
It looks like you could save over $200 if you went with...
What? You're an insurance company?
Hey, we know how hard it is to shop for auto insurance. A lot of times we're the lowest. Sometimes we're not.
That's not what I expected from an insurance company. And then he said, well, maybe you should.
Call 1-800-AUTO-PRO or your authorized independent agent.
Beneath your home lies another home, the home of millions of hungry subterranean termites, with hundreds of tunnels stretching thousands of yards. There's nothing termites won't do to ultimately eat you out of house and home. That was until Centricon, the first ever colony elimination system that monitors and baits to get termites where they live. For the name of the authorized pest control operator nearest you, call this number and get their home before they get yours.
All you need is your phone. Stay tuned to the Night Beat and win easy money.
The cause of death was almost always routine, but not the fact that they came back to life. Ironically, for those who survive a near-death experience, life may never be the same. Some report returning with detailed visions of the future. 4 women each claim to have died and come back to life, enriched with bits and pieces of a puzzle which may add up to a prophetic vision of our near future. For Cassandra Musgrave, her odyssey into the hereafter began one bright summer day.
I feel that my near-death experience was a real gift. I feel like it was a real blessing. It really awakened me. I was water skiing in Northern California, and when I fell down by some freak accident, the rope twisted around my left arm and dragged me behind the boat. And I found myself being pulled at very rapid speed and unable to get any air. And my friends, who were goofing off, didn't stop the boat because they weren't paying attention.
As she began to drown, Cassandra recalls entering into a kind of dream-like state, which she feels was the beginning of her near-death experience.
All of a sudden, I was out of my body, watching myself being pulled along and thinking, this is really incredible, this is quite amazing. On an inner level, I was being pulled rapidly through a very dark tunnel. I didn't feel afraid at all. And all of a sudden, I found myself coming to a wide open space with stars all around, like out in the universe.
It was in this cosmic emptiness that Cassandra claims to have received prophecy.
Basically, I saw that there was a 20-year period from 1992 to 2012 when things would be greatly accelerated on Earth. And how those things will manifest will be by great Earth changes. Earthquakes, floods, tidal waves, great winds. I also saw that there's certain areas that will be particularly affected. The area of the East Coast, New York, which would be a surprise regarding earthquakes. I remember very clearly Japan slipping into the ocean. I was shown that there would be something akin to 3 days of darkness. I don't feel it's from a nuclear war. To me, it was more of a feeling of natural earth disaster with smoke from volcanoes that simply block the sun. We're all going to be on a roller coaster ride, and yet it's not forever. If we have darkness for 3 days, it will pass. We will always have the light.
As quickly as it began, Cassandra Musgrave's brush with death ended.
The moment I came back into my body with a sharp jolt, the boat stopped. One of my friends proceeded to pull me up on the boat, which was hard to do because the rope was twisted around my arm and it hurt a lot. Everyone was really in shock, and it was real clear that they almost lost me.
Another life-after-death encounter reportedly took place within cold hospital walls. Elaine Durham says she was rushed to the emergency room after suffering a stroke in her sleep.
When I got to the hospital, it was not as if I were on the gurney looking up. I was moving, not necessarily walking, but I was at eye level along the right side of the gurney, and I knew that there was a body on it, but I didn't feel any relationship to that body.
Elaine claims her spirit was suddenly transported.
The next thing that I can remember is running across a field of grass. There were maybe 5 to 7 people that were there waiting for me. I realized that the one was my grandmother, and she died when I was 9 years old. And the other one was my husband's Aunt Virginia, and she had just died the previous February.
Elaine says she was jerked back temporarily into the world of the living.
I was back in my body with a body slam, and the defibrillators were above me, getting ready to jolt me again. And they continued to work with me, but when my heart stopped the last time, they pushed me to one side, and I was prepared for the morgue.
Once again, Elaine reported leaving her physical body and entering a spiritual realm of light.
I was pulled into billions and billions of tiny diamond-like sparkles, and I was one of them.
And then, Elaine says, she was shown views of the future.
I've seen the destruction that earthquakes, create. Just watch that Pacific Rim. The Pacific Rim is really going to take a beating, and there's just not any way around it. I had knowledge of icebergs breaking up and moving into warmer waters, and then melting and raising the water table. The water didn't come in and swallow up all the land. It left areas where there were large islands. America was not destroyed, but we reached that pinnacle where we could have tipped and we could have gone the other way.
Elaine's journey into the future reportedly ended when she woke up in the morgue.
I'm not aware of how I came back. I'm just aware of waking up on that gurney and feeling myself in this cold clay body. The only realization that I had was that I had tears that were going down my face. I had come back to life.
In another case of snatching prophecy from the jaws of death, it was reportedly water that more than once almost claimed the life of a young woman named Jessica Cardet.
I was practicing doing backflips off of a low dive and hit the back of my skull. And as I went to the bottom of the pool, I blacked out. And the next thing I knew, I was hovering about 15 feet above my body and thinking, this is really strange. I wonder what's happening here.
Jessica claims she suddenly left this world.
I saw a light tunnel, and these light beams from this light tunnel were lifting me higher and higher, and there was the most profound sense of peace and well-being and love that I've ever experienced in my life.
During this early near-death experience, Jessica feels she was given just a glimpse of prophetic images.
I was shown that there would be a person who would commit suicide, who was essentially an uncle in the family, and that did come to pass at a later point. I was also told that there would be prophetic visions at a future point.
These prophetic visions reportedly arrived a few years later, but for the moment, Jessica says she found herself back at the pool.
The lifeguard had laid me out on the concrete and was doing CPR. As I came back into my body, landed with a thud, I was actually quite angry to be back in my body and away from this light tunnel, this whole experience.
Only a few years later, while tubing down a lazy river, Jessica says she drowned once again.
I found that as I was going down, and it was all clouded in green, murkish water, where I could feel myself sinking and fading out and knew what was coming next.
It was the life-extinguishing water that Jessica claims brought her face-to-face with glowing light beings, who this time opened the gates of the future.
The light beings surrounded me and filled me with light, I saw them unrolling a scroll before me. It looked almost like an Arabic or Greek text. I was shown earthquakes all along the Ring of Fire in the Pacific. I saw pictures of horror of a one-world government, the return of concentration camps. I saw diseases and implosions of germ warfare. These visions of essential horror were not lasting, that there would come another time of peace, there would come another time of joy and love, and that you and others will be safe.
With that, Jessica remembers coming up for air.
I came shooting up out of the river's depths and began to swim toward shore of my own accord. I was perfectly fine, perfectly healthy, no brain damage, no psychological damage. It all checked out.
Rather than endow her with prophetic images of the future, one woman alleges her brush with death left her with the ability to predict earthquakes.
I was electrocuted by my fish tank when I was attempting to figure out why it was leaking, and found myself suddenly watching my physical body end up on the floor, and it scared me at first.
Near-death survivor Diane Morrissey.
I wanted to save Diane Morrissey on the floor. I knew that was me. And I saw the phone and went straight to it through both hallway walls, and went to pick up the phone, and my hand went through the receiver. I noticed at one point I was at the ceiling in the den where my body was, and I looked down and I could see my dog Tuffy biting my cheek of my physical body, and it didn't change anything.
Then, in a flash, Diane says she was in the presence of a radiant woman.
She was glowing, so was I, and she spoke to me telepathically. This woman was there to help me decide whether I was going to stay dead or come back.
Diane claims she came back and discovered she had gained an amazing ability.
24 hours before a plane crash, my teeth would hurt, and I figured that out first before I figured out the earthquakes.
Just before an earthquake strikes, Diane believes she's warned by a feeling of illness.
This is instantaneous, very strong nausea, and it goes away usually within 5 seconds. If it's about that long, it'll be like a 6 or a 5-point earthquake. If it lasts longer, up to 30 seconds, it's at least a 7 or higher. For the Northridge one, I was playing cards with a couple of friends, and the nausea hit me.
Diane's friend, Patty Pascal, was there playing cards.
She got nauseous, and she got up and left the table, and came back a little while later and sat down and told us that there would be a major earthquake soon, probably within the next 48 hours. And sure enough, it was.
If anybody would have told me any of this stuff could even happen, I'd know they were a nut. I wouldn't have believed them.
They are 4 women, with 4 accounts of crossing the boundary between life and death. Could this passage to the afterlife also be a route to prophecy? There could be a logical explanation for the near-death experience, or a plausible theory to show how a person can predict an earthquake a continent away. But does everything have to be logical or plausible?
Up next, the warnings come from the wind, the rain, and spirits of Mother Earth. And for centuries, the Native Americans have listened.
McDonald's presents future Olympic hopefuls, Carlos Tapia Ruano and his innovative soccer style. Uda Grunewald, whose backstroke could stun the world. The powerful Nozowitzki, weightlifting. Kelly Peterson, equestrian events. Bob Watson, rings. And Jacques Bouclet, a natural for discus. McDonald's is proud to sponsor today's U.S. Olympic team and to keep the dream alive for tomorrow's hopefuls.
Relax. Take your shoes off.
I'm more comfortable like this.
Really?
Well,
Millions of people suffer from toenail fungus, thick, brittle yellow nails.
you have no idea what's bothering me.
Oh, I've been in your shoes. You can do something about toenail fungus. Talk to your doctor or call 1-800-NAILS-90.
For info?
Uh-huh. About new treatments.
So I should talk with my doctor.
Or call 1-800-NAILS-90.
We're soulmates.
From Janssen Pharmaceutica, world leader in antifungal research.
Wow! Look who we have here.
Just your friendly neighborhood M&Ms. Sit down.
The same M&Ms that come in the bag?
Same ones. Only bigger.
With a colorful shell, just like this?
The actor's catching on.
And rich milk chocolate on the inside?
Yes!
Oh, then I'm really glad you came by.
Why is that?
Because I'm all out. Which one of you is Peanut?
He is. I hear he's delicious. So long, buddy.
My life is busy. I'm not a hermit crab. I go all over. But MCI Friends and Family's calling card discount only covered my calls to home. So I got AT&T True Reach Savings. It's the only way I can save 25% on every type of call on my AT&T phone bill, no matter who I call in the U.S.
AT&T True Reach Savings. Save 25% when you spend just $25 a month.
I never stop. Why should my savings?
AT&T True Reach Savings. That's your true choice. AT&T.
The men and women of General Motors made a commitment to always put our customers first. It's a commitment we renew with every car and truck we sell. This year at GM, we're proud to say we reached a milestone. General Motors is rated highest in satisfaction right from the start. In the 1995 J.D. Power & Associates New Vehicle Sales Satisfaction Study.
Two children abducted, but Unsolved Mysteries viewers responded. Friday, you'll see the joyous reunion you made possible. Unsolved Mysteries, NBC Friday.
Magic's back. Sunday, the amazing Magic Johnson returns to NBC when he leads the Lakers against Hakeem and the Rockets. Just part of an NBA on NBC doubleheaders, Sunday.
When we became permanent residents of Florida, we realized we needed to change our health care program. It turned out that it was the best thing that ever happened to me. He determined that I was really over-medicated. He changed all my medications, and I immediately felt better.
You're alive again.
Yeah, Dan used to refer to me as a zombie, but now I'm out on the golf course 3-4 times a week, so life's pretty good. I can't complain a bit.
When you change everything and break the rules, you can expect a reaction. We sure got one. Sales records got shattered too. So we're celebrating our best sales ever with savings on this Best Buy, Dodge Intrepid. Intrepid has more passenger room, power, and equipment standard than Ford Taurus. And even before $1,500 in cash savings or 1.9% financing, it's also a better value. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
It's Burdine's annual Royal Velvet Wrap-Up Sale, where whenever you buy one set, get a second set at half off. That's 50% off the second set, plus similar savings on bath rugs and Royal Velvet's newest bath accessories. And because color is primary, Burdine's has the biggest selection of colorful Royal Velvet towels in the state of Florida. That's right, so better buy enough, because the Royal Velvet Wrap-Up Sale only happens once a year, and it's happening now at Burdine's. Go on, snap them up.
The royals divorce. Find out if Di will still be a princess.
They were the first Americans. They lived close to the land, at peace with nature, attuned to the winds of prophecy. Long before the white man set sail for the New World, Native Americans apparently received warnings of what the fates had in store for them. Throughout the ages, Native Americans have depended upon the bounty that the earth, their mother, gives them. They say they are connected to her spiritually. Recently, they say, she has shown them signs she is in great distress. And they warn that an angry Mother Earth may cleanse herself of all man's evil during a future time called the Great Purification. a member of the Mohawk Nation, Jake Swamp.
There will be a great noise. It will shake up the whole world because it will be so loud.
Hopi elder Grandfather Martin and tribe member Emery Holmes.
We want to warn the people about what's to take place here, the purification of how it will eliminate a lot of people here.
Spokesman for the Innu people, Thomas Dostow.
The warnings are that unless we as a human beings stop violating this earth, stop destroying this world that we live upon, the Creator will allow the forces of nature to take their way and purify themselves.
Some Indian prophecies may have already come to pass. It's believed Native Americans foresaw the Europeans' arrival. They may also have predicted the white man's desecration of their sacred Mother Earth. Historian Paul Hutton.
It's remarkable when we take a cold, hard look at the prophecies of the great Iroquois peacemaker in the East, the Cheyenne religious prophet in the West, and we see how each predicted the coming of the white man, how each predicted a great struggle, how they could foretell that the land would be ravaged, that the new people would not only have no respect for the Native Americans themselves, but no respect for the land.
Though Indian prophecy varied from tribe to tribe, nearly all Native Americans were in agreement that the arrival of settlers meant a death sentence for their people. A great Iroquois leader may have predicted this slaughter in a symbolic prophecy. Author Scott Peterson.
The prophecy of the red and the white serpent was passed on to us from Daganoweda, the founder of the Iroquois League. And it tells of a tremendous fight between the red serpent and the white serpent.
The red serpent is said to represent the Indians, a white serpent the settlers. Author and shaman Robert Ghostwolf.
The Indian people would meet a white serpent, and the white serpent would come to their land, and he would befriend them, and he would be helpless and weak, and they would take him in, and they would nurture him, and they would feed him, and they would teach him the ways of this land. And then the white serpent would grow in power and grow in strength. And the white serpent soon would dominate them and get into power contests with the very people who nurtured him.
Another great Native American prophet, a man called Sweet Medicine, actually described the conquerors and their devastation.
Sweet Medicine brought the sacred arrows to the Cheyennes, gave them their unity as a people, and left them with a prophecy of the coming of strangers from the east, of bearded men who would destroy the buffalo, who would destroy the Cheyennes' way of life. And as the Cheyennes lost their connection with the land, with the buffalo, and with nature, that they would be destroyed as a people. It's one of the darkest predictions and the truest predictions ever made by an Indian prophet.
According to some researchers, Native Americans were united in their belief of these prophecies. Now, years later, the Indians are uniting again.
Indian spiritual leaders are joining together in their warnings about the misuse of the earth.
Many Indian leaders warn another prophecy is about to come true. It's called the Great Purification, and it dates back to the American Revolution. A young Indian chief named Handsome Lake was near death. He claimed visions were revealed to him from the spirit world.
He said in the future, this is when you will notice as you looked up onto the top of these trees, that you will find that they are only dead sticks. Your people will go to the water's edge. All they will see is that the water is muddied and dirty.
Many believe these prophecies have already come to pass. They fear the Great Purification will begin when this last prediction is fulfilled.
There will be a very dark cloud. It will prevent the sun from coming through, and it will hover over them for a long period of time.
This prediction is similar to the biblical 3 days of darkness, and even scientists believe volcanic eruptions may one day block out the sun.
Native Americans throughout the Americas see a lot of the same signs of the approaching purification. Those include the dying off of the animals, the skies which are no longer fit to breathe, the water that is no longer fit to drink. All Native Americans are warning us that our abuse of Mother Earth has to end.
No one knows for certain when the purification will begin, but some Native Americans feel they have been given special warning.
We had heard through the spiritual elders, through their knowledge. The prophecy now is that the world has another 3 to 4 years left before this great purification takes place.
I feel that there is a great change coming in our lifetime. Many people around the world are also saying that terrible things are going to happen in the year 2000.
But this prophecy of purification is not without hope. A great Indian leader, Chief Seattle, once said, "Whatever befalls the earth befalls the people of the earth. Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself." The Indians say we are all inescapably tied to the earth. If we can begin to respect and take care of it, they believe we may prevent the purification from happening. But they have warned us the choice is ours.
Maybe we won't have to see a lot of people perish. Maybe we won't have to see that. But the way things are going now, the world is at stake.
An American prophet once remarked, "The most successful prophecies are those that don't come true." The test of prophecy may not lie in predicting the future, but rather in changing it.
Coming up next, from the far-off forests of old to the bright lights and golden streets of Hollywood, prophets have carved roadmaps to the future.
The sophisticated material that's used to make the cockpit canopy of the F-16 fighter shatter-resistant is the same material we use to make the headlamp covers on the Aurora. So you can imagine how advanced the rest of the car is. Aurora by Oldsmobile. It's your money.
Something wonderful is about to happen to your laundry room. New Floral Fresh Clorox Bleach. So surprisingly fragrant and lovely, you'll almost feel like you're in a garden. New Floral Fresh Clorox Bleach. Smells like flowers. Whitens like Clorox Bleach.
No, I knew Advil was good. But this good? I was just in the dentist chair. Big time pain. What does my doctor recommend? Not the prescription pain reliever you'd expect, but Advil. Come on, Doc. Advil works better than a prescription. You know, it did. Advil's that good.
On tough dental pain, 2 Advil work better than any 2 extra-strength Tylenol. Even better than 2 tablets of Tylenol with codeine.
Advil just works better.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.